to Your Voice, Your Vote now. 2 weeks from tonight, you believe that? We'll be knee-deep in election night coverage. But while the presidential race grabs headlines, voters will also decide a long list of state and local ballot measures.
In Colorado Springs, that means questions about the city's revenue restrictions and whether voters should have a say in land exchanges. News Channel 13's Lauren Barnes is live in our studio to break down each ballot issue. Lauren.
Well, you know, sometimes ballot measures can be a little confusing and the text is not always the simplest either. So here's the background behind 2A, 2B, and 2C.
Trying to do more research before I even cast a ballot or cast a vote.
Measure 2A would allow the city to use its 2019 revenue base in financial planning and not its 2020 revenue base, which shows an economic loss.
When a city has a loss in revenue from one year to the next, their revenue base ratchets down to that new lower level and can only grow from there by the allowed formula under TABOR.
The state's Taxpayer Bill of Rights, or TABOR, requires the city get voters' permission to bypass it. The mayor expects our post-pandemic recovery to take 3 or 4 years if 2A fails, but about half that time if it passes. 2A would also permit the city to spend $1.9 million on police and fire departments. Controversial, as some groups call to defund CSPD. But Mark Murphy already submitted his ballot and says that's part of the reason he voted for 2A.
Because I believe that it was going towards like law enforcement and first responders, which I definitely think we should support.
Measures 2B and 2C would stiffen the requirements for city park land exchanges, following the controversial Strawberry Fields land swap in 2016. The city traded land with the Broadmoor in a 6-3 vote, sparking protests and legal action. 2B would require voter approval of such a swap and require at least 7 city council members vote to get the question onto a public ballot.
If they're going to be able to, sell the land or use it for another use, I really think that we should be able to have a voice in that.
2C would stop one step short of that, requiring approval by a city council supermajority only. The mayor favors 2C.
There's a lot of people who would like to donate land to the city, a lot of land in exchange for a small amount of land, who are going to say, no, I don't want to sit around and wait for a vote of the people.
And here's something else to note. If both land issues 2B and C are approved, the one with more votes will take effect. If you still have questions, you can read the full text for each resolution on KRDO.com as well as a sample ballot. In the studio, Lauren Barnes, KRDO News Channel 13.